Hello guys, welcome back to Mathematics. Today we are going to check how to add and subtract algebraic expressions. So let's gonna start about some concepts that we need to know. The first one is, what is a term? So a term is every expression separated, and this is important guys, by a sign of addition or subtraction. For example, notice in this expression we have a plus here and a minus here. Those two signs separate the terms, so this will be the first term, the second term, and the third term. In a similar way, here we have the minus, the plus, and another minus. So in this case, we are going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 terms. Let's don't forget that, for example, when you have a number and a letter, this letter is representing a value. And since we don't have any sign between them, that means a multiplication. So this is actually 3 times m. But since the symbol is a multiplication, is not an addition or a subtraction, this is a unique term. That includes when we have fractions. This is part of the same term. So in this case, we also say plus and minus, and we have 1, 2, and 3 terms. This last one includes square roots, fractions, and even irrational numbers, but still we just care about the minus and the plus, and the rest are going to be the terms, 3 terms in this case. Also, don't forget that when it has just one term, it's called a monomial, like x to the squared would be a monomial. When it has 2 terms, like x squared plus 2, it's called a binomial. If it has 3 terms, like in this case, it's called a trinomial. And in general, if it has 2 or more, it's called a polynomial. Okay, let's check the other very important concept that we need to know. It's about like terms. When we talk about like terms, it's every 2 or more terms that they have exactly the same variables on them. Remember, the variables are the letters or the symbols that we use to represent variables. So for example, in this expression we have these 2 terms that they have exactly the same variable part. They are both x squared, so they are like terms. So remember, the number part could be different, but the part with the variables with symbols and letters has to be the same to be called like terms. It's important to notice that it's not enough with having just the same symbols. They also should share the same exponents. So for example, these two, they are not like terms because this a has a square and this one doesn't have it. So they are not like terms. Then we can identify that this one and this one, they are like terms because they both have a and b with no exponents. And in this example, there's no another pair of like terms because this one, for example, has a, but this one has a squared, so they are not like terms. Let's check this last one, x squared y. It has this one and this term, so they are like terms. 5xy is alone because there's another one that has the same part. But notice 2 and minus 6, they don't have any variable, so they are what we call the independent terms. And yes, they are like terms because they both don't have any variable. Okay, now that we know that, we can go and check how to add and subtract algebraic expressions. Let's start with the addition. Let's say that we want to add 6x squared plus 3xy minus 7 with the expression minus 2x to the square plus 3x squared y plus 10. So when we have an addition, we can just write them side to side. Like this, since the plus in the addition doesn't change any sign in the algebraic expression. So it's enough we just write them next to each other. And then we have a very big expression where we can just look for like terms to add them together. For example, this one and this one are like terms because they both have x squared. So when we add them, 6 minus 2 is 4. So we can write 4x to the square. When you add like terms, the variable part just keeps being the same. So you operate the numbers and the variable part is still the same, x squared. When you have a lot of terms, it's also useful just to cross them so you don't get lost in which ones you have already added. There's no another xy, so this one is alone. I'm just going to write it again. Minus 7 and 10, they are independent and like terms. So we have them together. Minus 7 plus 10 is plus 3. And finally, we have the x squared y alone. There's no another one like that one, so we just write it down. Usually we would organize them a little bit. So you could put the x squared alone, then the x squared with the y, then the 3 just with xy plus 3. And that would be the final result. There are some people that prefer to do it vertically. They would put 6x squared plus 3xy minus 7. And then they would put down the next number, but keeping like terms in the same vertical. For example, I'm gonna put the minus 2x to the square, and this is like term with this one, so I'm just gonna put it down here. This one is alone, so I'm just going to create another line here that doesn't exist yet. And finally, the plus 10, I'm gonna put it down 7 because they are the like terms. And then they operate the whole thing. 6 minus 2 is 4, 4x squared. This one is alone. This one is plus 3 and plus 3x squared y. Of course, we are going to get the same result. It's just that you can choose the one that it looks easier for you. Some people prefer this one, they think that is more organized, and sometimes prefer the other one because it feels quicker, but it's up to you guys. Let's see what happens when we want to subtract. So if you want to do it horizontally, you have to write it like this because this minus says that I'm going to subtract the whole thing. So notice this minus affects the whole parenthesis. So what we need to do is just to multiply the negative with all the terms in the polynomial. So we are actually going to have 6x squared plus 3xy minus 7. Minus times minus is plus, so plus 2x to the square. Minus times plus is minus, minus 3x squared y. And minus times plus, which is minus 10. Notice that basically the second expression, that is the one that we are subtracting, it changed the signs. Minus to plus, plus to minus, plus to minus. And then we do like a normal addition. We identify the like terms, this one with this one, and then we can decide to do it organized already. So I'm going to start with the x squared. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8x squared. Then I'm gonna go with the x squared with the y, minus 3x squared y, dx with the y normally, plus 3xy. And finally the independent, minus 7 minus 10 is minus 17. So notice how different the answer is. This is the subtraction. If you want to do it in the vertical way, it's also possible. You just need to be very careful and change the symbol of every single term in the expression that you are going to subtract. So in this one it wouldn't be minus 2 but positive 2. 2x squared. This one we also change the symbol, minus 3x squared y. And this one wouldn't be plus but minus 10. And then we add all together. 8x squared plus 3xy minus 17 minus 3x squared y. And then we just organize. And that's the answer. And that's it, guys. Now it's your time to practice. Please, guys, pause the video, try to solve these ones, and then go back to the video to check your answers. Let's see this addition. So 2m to the square n plus 2mn squared minus 10. We are adding, so we don't have to change the sign. And then we look for like terms. 2 minus 2 is 0, so they cancel out. And 2 plus 15 is 17, so 17mn to the square. I'm going to start with this one because it has a variable. And finally the independent, minus 10. And this is the answer. Let's check this one. 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 7x minus x to the cube plus 6x squared minus 9. I'm going to start with x to the cube. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2x to the cube minus 2 plus 6 is plus 4. Plus 4x squared. The 7x is alone, so 7x. And minus 9 is also alone. So this would be the answer. Okay, now we go with the subtraction. 4a to the square minus 2ab to the square plus 10. I'm going to change the sign for this one. So plus a squared minus 15a squared b plus 4. 4 plus 1 is 5a to the square. I'm gonna go with this one, minus 15a to the square b minus, this one is alone, 2ab to the square, and the independent are together, plus 14. And then the last one, minus 13x squared plus 2x minus 5 minus x squared minus 6x minus 2. Minus 13 minus 1 is minus 14x to the square. 2 minus 6 is minus 4x, and minus 5 minus 2 is minus 7. Okay guys, that was it. Please let me know in the comments if you had it correct or not, or if you have any doubt. Please don't forget to subscribe, share this video if it was useful, book your own lessons with me, and drop any questions you have in the comment box. Bye bye guys, see you next time.